for Who Am I meditation. Shoulders up, back straight, nice and tall. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. I've got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll know. Got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who is the real me? Real self arise. Ego gotta go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. Who am I? Self-inquiry. I self-inquire within. I self-inquire to know my truth. Who am I? What am I made of? How did I come into being? How did I get here? Where do I go after I leave here? What is the source of my existence allowing me this world experience? What is my destiny? Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who is the real me? Real self arise. Ego got to go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. I've got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll know. Got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Self-inquire. I call, 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 I call. I call on my supreme truth within. I call on my supreme truth within. I call on my supreme wisdom within. I call on my great supreme teacher within. I call on my great supreme intelligence within. I call on my great supreme wisdom within. I call, I call, I call, I call, I call, I call. I call, I call, I call, I call, I call, I call. I call on my great supreme teacher within. Rise. Real self arise. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Real self arise. Ego gotta go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. Got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll know. Got to ask the question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who is the real me? Who am I? Self-inquiry. I seek my truth from within. I seek my truth from within. I seek my great supreme truth from within. I seek my great supreme teacher within. I seek my great supreme intelligence within. I seek my truth from within. I seek my great supreme wisdom within. I seek my truth from within. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? What am I made of? How did I get here? Where did I come from? How did I come into being? Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who is the real me? Real self arise. Ego got to go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. I've got to ask a question, that's the only way that I'll know. I've got to ask a question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who am I? Self-inquire. I trust my truth from within. I trust my great supreme truth within. I trust my great supreme wisdom within. I trust my great supreme intelligence within. I trust my inner wisdom. I trust my inner truth. I trust my inner supreme intelligence. I trust my inner supreme teacher. I practice discernment to be able to differentiate the real from the unreal, the self from the ego. I have to be awake, alert, attentive, and aware. Who am I? Who am I? Self-inquire. Who am I? I self-inquire. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Real self arise. Ego got to go goodbye. Bye-bye, ignorance child. I've got to ask a question, that's the only way that I'll know. Got to ask a question, that's the only way that I'll grow. Who am I? Self-inquiry. Self-inquire. Self-inquire. You've got to ask yourself the great intelligence within. You've got to ask the great intelligence within. You've got to trust your great supreme wisdom within. You've got to trust your great supreme teacher within. Self-inquire to know your truth. Who am I? 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 I am primal light. Prepare for the world with the identity all set. I am the daughter of the Self-Supreme, Primal Light. Thank you so much for joining me on Stillness and Self-Inquiry. Who am I? You must self-inquire to know. Who am I? What am I made of? See you in the next video.